It's kind of cold this morning. Gonna take the rat rod for a drive anyway. Back window and let the engine heat in. Actually works pretty well. I love that. On my way to work on the tiny house. Get a few things done this afternoon. Love that sound. Oh, I think I scratched it. Somebody pulled up to a car show the other day in their Corvette and opened their door into me. They're very apologetic. I don't know why. It's a gate opener that I made for $300. Almost every part of that came from like the big box hardware store, except for a couple of idler wheels off of an old garage door opener. So basically it is a garage door opener inside the box. It's the same brand opener as these two doors. So you can use the same remote to work all of them. It's been there for 6 years. It has worked perfectly the entire time. You can't buy a crappy gate opener for $1,000. Spent $300 on that one. Welcome to the fortress. So electric motorcycle, pedal electric. I don't ride it anywhere near as much as I'd like to. And there's the Cushman Truckster. Still got some body work to do on that. Unfortunately, the gas went bad in it. I screwed up and didn't use marine gas. So I got to clean the carb out, do a few things on that. But that's actually really close to being done. I got to finish that up. Got all the metal cut for the floor already. I'm going to change that chain to a belt drive. But it does right around 50 right now. I put a disc brake on the front and all that. It's a lot of fun. You can actually seat two people, like motorcycle style, one behind the other. You got to like them a lot, though. And the electric bus. I actually just switched out the batteries in this. I had lithiums in it for a while, 100 amp hour, and just hated them. The same batteries that are on the motorcycle, actually. But on the bike, they work fine because the bike isn't drawing all that much power. The bus is drawing, cruising along about 225, 250 amps, something like that. And, you know, they just didn't hold up. I had some cells that were sagging really badly and just wasn't getting cooperation from the distributor. You know, they were telling me basically that they were within spec, and to me that, you know, that bar was set awfully low if that was within spec. And had quite a few hardware failures with the battery management system. I got to where I was watching the meter as I'm driving and not enjoying driving it. So I pulled the batteries out. I'll probably use them in, like, you know, a small scooter or something like that that doesn't require a whole bunch of power. And I just got some more AGMs, the Deep Cycle, from my local interstate dealer. 3-year warranty on them. So, you know, it's actually a pretty good deal. They last me 3 years. I'll be thrilled. But 100% exchange, I believe, within the 3 years. It's not prorated or anything. So I got this running again. It's on the road. Just have to finish up. Sorry, it's dark in here. Just have to finish putting the seat back in place. And a couple of things to set up my chargers. I really like these chargers. I think I'll show them on an old video. Here, I'll get some light. Let's see. There we go. They're called Dual Pro. They're basically the marine chargers for a boat. And they have separate leads for each battery. So I got 4, 3, and 4 leads coming off of there. And so when you charge it, they charge every battery exactly correctly, completely full every single time. My last set of AGMs I had were Odysseys, which, as I understand it, are extremely similar to the ones that I have in here now, but these were a better price. I had an issue with those. There's kind of like a general rule of thumb that in lead-acid batteries you shouldn't go below 50% state of charge. And so I was doing that religiously. I would not go below 50% state of charge. And at one point I needed to go further that day and went ahead and went a few more miles, and the batteries just, you know, fell on their face. I mean, they had no power at all. I got home, and they just were really dragging badly. And so I wound up talking to one of the battery engineers and asked him about that, and he very clearly told me that you have to go below 50% from time to time, or the battery will do exactly as mine was doing. It just loses everything after 50%. And I said, so they have a memory, and the answer I got was, well, no, it's not a memory. And they had some other term for it, but to me it sounded like a memory. These, I will be bringing these down to about, use up about 80% of them a couple of times a month, and hopefully they will last me a lot longer that way. But I really like them because they're completely maintenance free. I plug it in and forget it. The thing turns itself off when it's done. Don't have to worry about, you know, burning down the house or anything like that with overcharging lithiums. So really looking forward to driving this a lot more. So here's the Daihatsu, and unfortunately right now it's serving as a table. I have it blocked in. Can't really drive it right at the moment, but runs fine. I just need to clean all this junk off of it and do a few things. I am going to try and squeeze that Power Glide transmission into it. It'll give it even better acceleration. Get rid of the clutch pedal, which, you know, it's okay, but it gets to be in heavy traffic and all that, because there's no neutral. It gets to be kind of a pain. But anyway, so there's a. I got to really get back on this too. The Audi Bianchi, the R1 powered microcar. Putting the gas tank in. Probably finish this today. I got to mount that fuel pump. Finish putting the bolts in the tank, and really just have a couple of wires to hook up, and this should start up and run, drive. Everything else is connected: steering, brakes, shifter, absolutely everything. No floor in it, as you can see, but the seats are fitted. Just have to bolt the seats back in. So I'll hopefully sometime real soon I'll get this the wiring totally finished on this, and at least take it around the block a few times. So I'll get that work done on this today. Really have let this get behind. Been working on this tiny house. I was trying to have it done by March, which it will be done, but the event that I was going to go to, unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town then, so I can't even go. Yes, it lays frame. It's sitting on a lift right now, but normally in this parked position, the frame rail would be on the ground, and there's a door that goes over the wheels. You don't see the wheels, so it looks like a house. It'll be all done up like a house on the outside. You won't see the rivets. So anyway, some other stuff going on here. This really deserves some more love. And this is another thing that's just really close. Everything is connected except for, and works, other than the gas tank. But I have to finish building the wheel tubs before I can install the gas tank. And it's kind of in a spot right now where I can't really get to it and do any welding on it. So we're getting real close to being done on this Datsun 510 wagon. This is a friend of mine's. It's the Sloppy Stage 2. I believe. He's been following Sloppy Mechanics, as have I. And so this is an all-aluminum 5.3 LS junkyard motor. I have a video, actually all the build videos are on this YouTube channel as well, of it starting up in the driveway. So he's added the Chinese turbo that's so popular with those guys, and got the exhaust coming out through the fender. This is really coming along. Really, the main things it needs now are upgrading the rear end, getting a drive shaft for it, of course, and a few other things. But you know, the shifter's in, the computer's in, the seats are all set up, the steering column's in. We reconfigured those pedals. The brake pedal is now the gas pedal, and the clutch is the brake. Actually, it works really well like that. You can see that we turned the pad on, or the pedal itself, for the throttle, 90 degrees. But the transmission tunnel's all welded in. Cage is done. It's got a bunch of minor things, but actually, we should be able to start this up real soon. The gas tank's all finished up. He's waiting on one fitting to come in to hook up the fuel lines. It's got this stainless and all that. So this is the tiny house I'm working on. Get some light. I just got the roof on yesterday. It's got a sleeping loft up there. There's going to be a Murphy-style bed around the corner, kitchenette, closet, batteries, inverter, solar panels on the roof, AC power as well, instant hot water heater, one burner cooker. Bathroom with a shower. Another little loft here with an attic space. Going to have an air conditioner in it. Real lightweight. It's all these panels. Same thing this building's made out of. Super insulated. Way less than 3,500 pounds. Easy to tow. All that. So this is coming along real well. Actually, real fast. And nice thing about it, on this lift, the ceiling's so high in here that I can actually lift this thing all the way up and have enough room to walk underneath it and park another vehicle under there. So I just got to finish off the back end here for the attic space and the overhang. So hopefully I get a lot of that done today. Anyway, that's what's happening. Just gonna all I need is more hours in the day.